In a constantly busy world full of noise, demands, and stress, finding real peace can seem impossible. But what if peace isn't about running away from your life, but changing how you live it? It's not about retreating, but transforming. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy designed for modern chaos, teaches us not just to survive, but to thrive amidst life's storms by mastering the art of control. Control not over others, but over ourselves. Welcome to Progress Mastery, where ancient wisdom meets modern challenges. If you're ready to adopt Stoic techniques that will help you navigate life's challenges with grace and strength, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving deep into the core of Stoicism, exploring how this timeless wisdom can be more than just a philosophy. It can be a practical toolkit for living a richer, more resilient life. So if you're looking to turn challenges into opportunities and cultivate a steadfast serenity that lasts, stay tuned. Together, we'll unlock the secrets of Stoicism and discover how to harness its power every single day. Join me in embracing a life where every obstacle becomes a stepping stone to personal growth and fulfillment. If you appreciate what we're doing here and want to support this journey into Stoicism, a simple favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button. Don't skip any part of the video. We've packed it with insights that unfold step by step, each one building on the last to transform your understanding and your life. Understanding control. When we dive into the teachings of Stoicism, one of the most powerful and life-changing principles we encounter is the concept of control. It's fascinating how this ancient philosophy, developed over 2 millennia ago, provides us with a tool so essential for our modern hectic lives. Stoicism teaches us a simple yet profound truth. Our true power lies not in extending our reach over the external world, but in mastering our own inner responses. This concept isn't about gaining control over others or the circumstances we find ourselves in. Rather, it's about understanding what is truly within our grasp, our thoughts, our reactions, and our actions. Think about it. How often do we find ourselves feeling frustrated or upset over things we simply cannot change? Maybe it's the weather ruining our weekend plans, or a friend running late to a meetup. Our natural inclination might be to let these external events disturb our peace. However, Stoicism invites us to shift our focus. Instead of ruminating on the uncontrollable, Stoicism encourages us to ask, what can I control in this situation? The answer is almost always related to our internal state, our mindset, our readiness to adapt, and our decision on how to respond. This principle of focusing on what we can control helps us build resilience against the chaos of everyday life. By anchoring our energy on our internal state, we create a mental fortress that external circumstances cannot breach. For instance, when facing a traffic jam that makes us late for an important appointment, instead of stewing in anger and frustration, Stoicism teaches us to use that time to reflect, plan our day, or simply enjoy some music. This change in perspective doesn't alter the traffic, but it dramatically transforms our experience of it. Moreover, understanding control is about accepting the limits of our influence. This acceptance does not mean resignation, but rather a strategic redirection of our efforts towards areas where we can make a real impact. It's like being the captain of a ship in a storm. While you can't control the storm, you have the authority over how you steer the ship and manage the crew. This metaphor encapsulates the Stoic approach, managing our ship, ourselves, with wisdom and integrity, regardless of the storm, life's challenges around us. Practicing this Stoic principle also means preparing ourselves for various outcomes. It teaches us to remain composed, not only when things go our way, but also when they don't. This level of detachment from outcomes is incredibly freeing. It allows us to engage in our activities with full effort and commitment, but without the heavy burden of needing certain outcomes for our happiness. This is what Stoics mean when they talk about selective indifference, caring deeply about our actions and efforts while being indifferent to the fluctuations of fortune. The Stoic understanding of control is a powerful antidote to stress and anxiety. It grounds us in the present and focuses us on the actionable, empowering us to live with intention and tranquility. By internalizing this lesson, we don't just cope with life's unpredictabilities. We thrive amidst them. We become proactive participants in our lives, choosing responses that align with our deepest values, rather than being reactive to every external stimulus. Embracing the Stoic practice of focusing on what we can control doesn't happen overnight. It requires mindfulness, self-reflection, and regular practice. But the rewards, increased serenity, effectiveness, and a profound sense of empowerment are well worth the effort. As we continue to explore Stoicism, let's keep this foundational principle in mind. It's not just about reading and understanding Stoic philosophy, it's about it. One controlled, thoughtful response at a time. Virtue and the pursuit of happiness. In the Stoic philosophy, virtue is not just a moral compass, but the very core of a fulfilling life. It's interesting how Stoicism aligns the pursuit of virtue with the pursuit of happiness, a concept that might seem counterintuitive in today's fast-paced world, where happiness is often equated with pleasure success. But Stoics view it differently. For them, happiness isn't found in external achievements or material possessions, but in living a life of virtue. So what exactly does virtue mean in Stoicism? It encompasses four main qualities: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Each of these virtues plays a crucial role in how we navigate our lives. Wisdom involves the insightful understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Courage is about facing life's challenges with resilience and bravery. Justice relates to treating others with fairness and kindness. And temperance is the art of self-control and moderation. Together, these virtues form the Stoic ideal of a well-lived life. The Stoic pursuit of happiness through virtue is fundamentally different from the fleeting pleasures we often chase. Stoicism wisdom teaches us that true happiness is a state of inner peace and satisfaction that comes from knowing you've lived well according to your own principles. This happiness is stable and enduring. It doesn't evaporate when external conditions change, because it's based not on what happens to us, but on how we choose to respond. This approach to happiness is incredibly empowering. It suggests that regardless of our external circumstances, we have the capacity to cultivate happiness within ourselves by developing virtuous qualities. Think about the implications of that. It means that our emotional and psychological everything doesn't have to be at the mercy of our surroundings or situations, which are often beyond our control. Instead, happiness becomes something we actively build through our choices and actions. Practicing Stoic virtue also means striving to be better each day. It's about personal growth and self-improvement. For instance, when we practice temperance, we learn to resist impulses that might lead to excess or harm. When we practice justice, we contribute positively to our communities, promoting a sense of goodwill and support. Each act of virtue not only enhances our own lives, but also touches the lives of others around us, creating a ripple effect of positivity. Moreover, the Stoic link between virtue and happiness teaches us about the importance of aligning our actions with our values. In a world where we are often pulled in different directions by conflicting desires and pressures, Stoicism offers a clear directive: focus on living virtuously. This simplifies decision-making and reduces the stress and anxiety associated with trying to please everyone or achieve perfection. It guides us to focus on being good, rather than merely feeling good or looking good. Embracing Stoic virtues isn't about suppressing emotions or denying pleasure. It's about finding a deeper, more meaningful happiness that sustains us through life's ups and downs. It challenges us to look beyond immediate gratification and consider the long-term effects of our actions on our character and well-being. In practice, living a life of Stoic virtue can be challenging. It requires constant vigilance and effort. It asks us to be mindful of our actions and choices, to reflect regularly on our behavior, and to strive continually towards embodying the Stoic ideals. But the payoff is immense. As we align more closely with these virtues, we find that our lives are richer, our relationships are stronger, and our souls are calmer. So as we journey through the teachings of Stoicism, let's keep in mind that virtue is the key to genuine, lasting happiness. It's not an easy path, but it is a rewarding one filled with growth, resilience, and a deep sense of fulfillment. In the pursuit of Stoic happiness, every step we take in virtue is a step towards a more peaceful and meaningful life. Reframing perception and reality. One of the most compelling aspects of Stoicism is how it teaches us to reframe our perceptions to change our reality. This concept might sound a bit like modern psychology, and you'd be right to think there are parallels. Stoicism, however, takes this idea back thousands of years and integrates it into a broader philosophy that addresses how we can lead fulfilling lives by focusing on what we truly control. So how does Stoicism help us reframe our perception? It starts with the premise that it's not the events themselves that upset us, but rather our opinions about them. For example, if you get caught in a storm and feel miserable, it's not necessarily the rain that's causing your misery. It's your perception of the situation. Perhaps you see the rain as an annoyance rather than a natural occurrence that brings much-needed water to the earth. This shift in thinking, from seeing the rain as a personal inconvenience to viewing it as a beneficial ecological event, changes your emotional response to it. This Stoic principle of reframing perception is incredibly powerful because it puts us back in the driver's seat of our own emotions. Instead of being tossed around by external events, we get to choose our responses. This is done through what Stoics call the dichotomy of control, which is simply distinguishing between what we can control and what we can't. We can't control the weather, the traffic, or other people's actions, but we can control our reactions to these things. Let's dive a bit deeper into how this works in practice. Imagine you're working on a project at work, and suddenly there's a change in project direction due to external factors beyond your control. You might initially feel frustrated or anxious about the changes and additional work. However, by applying Stoic thinking, you can reframe this situation. Instead of viewing it as a setback, see it as an opportunity to learn new skills or to demonstrate your flexibility and creativity. This doesn't just change how you feel about the situation, it changes the situation itself in terms of your experience of it. Moreover, this reframing of perception according to Stoic principles goes beyond mere positive thinking. It's about seeing the truth of a situation more clearly. It involves understanding the nature of the world as one of change and unpredictable ability, and then aligning our expectations and actions accordingly. This alignment reduces our disappointments and enhances our resilience, as we are no longer fighting against the inevitable flow of life, but moving with it. The practice of reframing perception also encourages us to focus on the present moment. Instead of getting lost in regrets about the past or worries about the future, Stoicism teaches us to concentrate on the here and now, on what we are doing at this moment and how we can do it with virtue. This focus is liberating because it narrows down the vast array of things that might concern us to the few things we can actually influence. Reframing perception and reality in Stoicism isn't just a coping mechanism, it's a transformative process that leads to true inner peace. By consistently applying this Stoic practice, we begin to see that many of the walls we face are ones we have built ourselves with our misconceptions and misplaced beliefs. Breaking down these walls doesn't just change our view of the world, it changes the world we live in. The Stoic practice of reframing our perceptions is about understanding the true nature of events, recognizing our power to choose our responses and focusing our efforts on what we can actually influence. This approach doesn't just help us handle life's challenges more effectively, it empowers us to lead lives marked by calm, clarity, and purpose. As we continue to explore and apply these Stoic teachings, we find that the quality of our lives is not determined by external circumstances, but by the perceptions and choices we make. Amor fati, love of fate. For Stoicism, one of the most profound and perhaps most challenging concepts is amor fati, which translates to love of fate. This isn't just about accepting whatever life throws at us, it's about embracing it open arms, not just as an unavoidable reality, but as something beneficial and necessary for our growth. It's a powerful idea that turns potential adversity into a source of strength. So how do we begin to not just accept, but love our fate? It starts with understanding that everything that happens can be seen as an opportunity. Stoicism teaches us that our character is formed not through our experiences, but through our responses to those experiences. When we love our fate, we are essentially saying that we trust in the natural flow of life, and we believe there is value in whatever happens. This doesn't mean we desire or wish for suffering or hardship, but rather that we find peace and purpose in the inevitability of such experiences. The beauty of amor fati lies in its radical optimism. Instead of fighting against the currents of life, we learn to swim with them. This perspective doesn't come easily, of course. It requires a deep philosophical shift, a mental rewiring that allows us to see the silver linings in dark clouds without being naive or dismissive of the hardships. For example, if you lose a job, it's natural to feel upset and anxious. However, embracing amor fati would involve a shift in perspective, where you might see this event as an opportunity to pursue a path more aligned with your true passions, or to develop resilience and adaptability. Embracing amor fati also means letting go of bitterness and regret. Stoicism doesn't ask us to forget the past or ignore the pain. Instead, it encourages us to acknowledge our feelings, but not to allow them to control us. By loving our fate, we accept the past for what it is, a part of our journey that has led us to where we are now, contributing to who we have become. This acceptance frees us from the weight of past grievances, allowing us to move forward with a lighter spirit and a clearer mind. Moreover, amor fati is about finding joy in the journey itself, not just the destination. It's easy to think we'll be happy when we reach a certain milestone, when we get that job, when we buy that house, when we retire. But Stoicism teaches us that there's a profound joy available to us right here and now, in this very moment, if only we choose to see and embrace it. This doesn't mean we stop striving or becoming. It means we cherish the process as much as, if not more than, the outcomes. In practical terms, living with amor fati can start with small steps. It might mean taking a moment each day to reflect on something that didn't go as planned and finding something valuable in that experience. Perhaps it taught you a lesson, or maybe it strengthened a relationship through shared struggles. It could also involve more significant life changes, such as choosing a career path that feels true to your core values, even if it's less conventional or secure, trusting that the challenges along the way will enrich your life's narrative. Amor fati enriches our lives by deepening our connection to the world and to ourselves. It helps us cultivate an inner resilience that acts as an anchor in the stormy seas of life. This love of fate doesn't make life easier, but it does make us stronger and more harmoniously aligned with the natural course of events. As we continue to explore Stoicism, let's try to see amor fati not just as a philosophical concept, but as a daily practice, a way to embrace each moment, each challenge, and each joy that life offers. By doing so, we transform our relationship with life itself, turning every experience into a pathway to greater wisdom and peace, the journey to Stoicism. Embarking on the journey to Stoicism is like starting a profound adventure, one that invites us to explore deep insights into our lives and fundamentally change how we interact with the world around us. It's not merely about learning a set of theories, it's about transforming those theories into everyday practices that strengthen our resilience, enhance our happiness, and deepen our understanding of life. The journey begins with a simple yet profound shift in perspective, recognizing that while we can't control external events, we can control our responses to them. This realization is the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. It's a liberating concept that frees us from feeling victimized by circumstances or other people's actions. Instead, it empowers us to take charge of our inner world. As we delve deeper into Stoicism, we learn to cultivate 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Each of these virtues is not just an abstract ideal, but a practical guide to living well. Wisdom teaches us to see things as they really are. Courage gives us the strength to face challenges head-on. Justice guides us to treat others fairly, and temperance helps us find balance in all things. Embracing these virtues in daily life can be challenging, but also incredibly rewarding. Another key aspect of the Stoic journey is developing mindfulness, being fully present in the moment. This practice helps us become more aware of our thoughts, feelings, and reactions. By observing ourselves without judgment, we can start to identify patterns that might lead us away from our Stoic ideals. For instance, we might notice that we tend to react impulsively when we're stressed, or that we hold on to grudges longer than is healthy. Awareness is the first step toward change. Practical exercises are also integral to this journey. One such exercise is the evening reflection, where we review our day and assess how well we lived up to our Stoic principles. Did we handle a stressful situation with composure? Did we treat everyone we encountered with fairness and kindness? These reflections not only help us learn from our experiences, but also reinforce our commitment to living a Stoic life. The journey to Stoicism also involves embracing challenges as opportunities for growth. This perspective shift is essential because it turns every obstacle into a teacher. When we face difficulties, instead of feeling defeated, we can ask ourselves, what can this situation teach me? This approach not only makes us more resilient, but also more open to learning and personal development. Furthermore, Stoicism encourages us to build a community or seek out like-minded individuals who are also on this path. Having a support system can be incredibly beneficial as it provides us with encouragement, different perspectives, and companionship on our journey. Sharing experiences and challenges with others who understand and appreciate Stoic principles can enhance our own understanding and application of Stoicism. Finally, the journey to Stoicism is a lifelong pursuit. It's not about reaching a state of perfection, but about striving toward continuous improvement. It's about becoming more virtuous, more resilient, and more aligned with our true selves each day. As we progress, we'll find that the rewards of this philosophical path are not just about personal tranquility and resilience. They extend to improving our relationships with others and positively impacting the world around us. The journey to Stoicism is about growth and transformation. It challenges us to look inward, reassess our values, and align our actions with those values. It teaches us to be strong in the face of adversity and compassionate in our dealings with others. It's a path that not only enhances our own lives, but also has the potential to enrich the lives of everyone around us. Let's embrace journey with open hearts and minds, ready to learn and grow in ways we might never have imagined. Practical Stoicism in daily life. Integrating Stoicism into daily life is about much more than adopting a philosophical outlook. It's about transforming abstract Stoic principles into concrete actions and habits that enhance our everyday experiences. Practical Stoicism isn't just for times of crisis or philosophical reflection. It's for the ordinary moments, the everyday decisions, and the small challenges that shape our lives. The first step in practicing Stoicism daily is starting each day with intentionality. This means setting a few minutes aside each morning to contemplate the day ahead and remind ourselves of the Stoic virtues we aim to embody: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. It's about asking ourselves how we can apply these virtues in the day's activities. For example, how will I exhibit temperance in my eating habits or spending? How can I practice courage in my workplace or personal challenges? This morning, ritual sets a purpose, successful tone for the day, aligning our actions with our Stoic ideals. Throughout the day, practical Stoicism involves being mindful of our reactions to events and people. It's about observing our automatic responses and asking whether they align with Stoic principles. When something doesn't go as planned, instead of reacting with frustration or anger, we pause and consider a more measured Stoic response. This might mean taking a deep breath and recalling the Stoic view that we can control our reactions, even if we can't control external events. This habit of pausing and choosing our response can transform our interactions and significantly reduce stress and conflict in our lives. Another key aspect of practical Stoicism is dealing with negative emotions effectively. Stoicism teaches us that negative emotions are often the result of mistaken judgments or excessive attachments to things beyond our control. When we feel overwhelmed by negative emotions, it's helpful to step back and analyze their source. Are we upset because of something outside our control? Are we placing too much importance on external validation or material success? By questioning the roots of our emotions and aligning our expectations with Stoic principles, we can regain our composure and perspective. Practical Stoicism also extends to how we handle interpersonal relationships. Stoics emphasize the importance of justice and kindness in dealing with others. This means practicing empathy, being fair in our judgments, and considering the common good in our decisions. It's about treating others with respect and understanding, even when we disagree or when others do not treat us as we'd hope. By embodying these virtues in our relationships, we not only live more stoically, but also contribute to a more harmonious and supportive community. In our pursuit of personal growth, practical Stoicism criticism encourages us to reflect on our day each evening. This isn't about harsh self-criticism, but about honest self-assessment. What did I do well today? Where could I have been more stoic? This practice of evening reflection helps solidify the day's lessons and prepares us to be even more virtuous and resilient tomorrow. It reinforces the Stoic commitment to continual improvement and helps us track our progress in living a Stoic life. Finally, practical Stoicism involves embracing challenges as opportunities for growth and learning. This means viewing obstacles not as impediments, but as chances to practice and strengthen our Stoic virtues. Whether it's a difficult project at work, a personal setback, or an unexpected change in plans, each challenge is a chance to apply Stoic wisdom and resilience. By integrating these practices into our daily lives, Stoicism becomes not just a philosophy we read about, but a vibrant living guide. It influences how we think, how we react, how we relate to others, and how we understand the world. Through practical Stoicism, we don't just survive the vicissitudes of life, we thrive amidst them, finding deeper satisfaction and peace in our journey through life. As we close today's journey into the heart of Stoicism, remember that embracing this philosophy is about more than just understanding. It's about living. Each moment, each decision, and each challenge offers a new opportunity to practice resilience, wisdom, and virtue. By integrating Stoicism into our daily lives, we don't just change ourselves, we change our entire world, one thoughtful action at a time. Thank you for joining me today and for being a part of the Progress Mastery community. If you're eager to dive deeper into the principles we discussed, or to explore more about how Stoicism can transform your life, please check out one of the suggested videos on your screen now. Together, let's continue to grow, reflect, and embrace the Stoic path to a more fulfilling and tranquil life.